We are live.
What is up, everybody? We have anybody on?
We have.
Hey, we got people. How's everybody doing on a Thursday afternoon? So,
John says hi.
Calvin is joining me today. Say hi to Calvin, everybody.
What's up?
He's going to be helping
Mitch Young
out
says
with,
hi. Juan says hi. Ryan. Rich, I hope you are doing good.
I am doing all right. It has been a heck of a week. But, hanging in there. Have a yummy beer today. Dragon's Milk White. Bourbon Barrel Aged White Stout.
A username. Okay, I'm gonna have fun trying to say usernames on the YouTube because y'all have to have fun with usernames. But somebody's talking about something that happened to them in 2022 already.
Yeah. Maybe something with a box that has a bit of an Easter egg on it. But you know.
Shadowstraw 1 said, my MTW came in today. Best day ever.
Nice.
Mark says, hey guys.
So go ahead and throw your comments up in the comments section. We got some stuff to talk about today. A little bit of news. A little bit of, fun stuff to tell you about. But throw the comments, questions up there, stuff you want to talk about. This is your opportunity to ask questions and have some fun.
Tim Kressler said, yeah, Saxo Gandalf. Apparently, he started early enough to see that.
Yeah, I just was introduced to that today. Apparently, that's a thing. I didn't know that was a thing.
Sandra asks what about Inferno Gen 2 in the SRS?
Inferno Gen 2 in the SRS. SRS is a bolt action gun. I'm really confused what we're talking about here. You want to put a Gen 2 Inferno in an SRS? I mean, theoretically, it could be done, I guess. Maybe? I don't remember what the bolt diameter on that is, but it might be possible. It might be big enough.
So, great. It's beer 30 from Ryan.
It is beer 30. It's always beer 30. Oh. Hey, Kate. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a dog's age.
Mitch had one come in. Said mine came in yesterday. Unfortunately, dead on arrival, but Cody has sorted him out. Cody was super helpful, so good to hear. Are you guys going to be at Bone Strike? From Ryan.
I don't know whether I'm not going to be at that one. I don't know whether anybody from here is going down to that one.
Kenneth asks, when is Limited Ford Series going to be released? I'm anxiously awaiting to purchase it.
Final release date will be announced at the 2022 live streamed product announcement event. So we're going to be doing an event on March 3rd, so 1 month, 1:30 Eastern time, that you can watch live. We'll be showing all the new products that we're working on. Some of them will be ready to go. Some of them will be a little bit down the road, and we'll tell you all the final details and the launch date at that time. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you log in. Have we created a Facebook event for that yet?
Do not believe we have, but we will soon.
So we'll be creating a Facebook event. If you are a dealer, you can or such, you can get in touch with us. We will have limited spots for people that are in the industry for in-person event. If you want to show up, and we'll be doing some fun stuff for that. Yeah, I mean, so if you're interested, if you're a dealer, you want to come in person, you can contact sales@wolverineairsoft.com, and Dalton will get you the details on that.
Delta Hotel Airsoft asks, is it going there? Any other platform you're planning on making?
Well, am I allowed to say that?
No,
Okay. Well, I can't tell you whether or not we're planning to make anything. I can tell you we have lots of prototypes of stuff. We'll see where it goes. We have lots of prototypes of lots of things that sometimes make it to production, sometimes don't. So we'll see. But yeah.
There's one other that I saw that I need to find real quick. People, greetings from Germany from Tim.
Oh, how things over in Germany these days? I've been over there in 3 years. Dang.
So Sonny says, hey guys, how y'all doing? Treated my first gen MTW to a little cleaning yesterday. Ready for a new season.
Nice.
Have a good one from Holland.
Yeah. It's a good idea to go through it every once in a while, get it cleaned up, get it lubed up, and a little preventative maintenance never hurts.
So I gotta try and keep up with Rich's answers. Someone was asking about, oh, there it is. Someone asked, optimum pressure for the MTW due to UK limits. We have got to run lower pressures to get to the 350, 350, 1.15.
You want to be above 60 FPS. Or 60 PSI. Above 60 FPS is good. 60 FPS isn't that fast. But you want to be above 60 PSI, so you're going to want to have things set up so that you stay in that range. You have a few options. You can, shorter barrel obviously will let you run higher pressure for a given pressure range, and a larger diameter barrel will also, and then you also we do have reduced flow lines that will reduce the energy output so you can run a higher pressure. We've talked about doing sort of reduced flow nozzles, but have never done that. I don't really like it as much as the reduced flow line. It's convenient, I'll grant you that, but you lose more efficiency going with a restricted flow nozzle. The restricted flow line doesn't actually hurt your efficiency. So, yeah.
Hey, Holland here. Want that limited edition?
Get in touch with retailers and start figuring out who has them, because everybody's going to be there's going to be a release date, and they're going to go live at the same time, and they're going to sell until they're gone. We don't really know, but based on the response so far, it seems like that's probably not going to be a terribly long time.
You going to be going to any events coming up?
I am. Actually, I am going to South Africa. Dalton and I are going to be headed down to Airsoft Aegs down in South Africa the first weekend in April. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never been to South Africa before. But, yeah, should be a good time. There'll be some new stuff there to see.
So Campbell asks, how does one go about fitting a max into MTW?
It depends on which MTW and which max. There are a number of people who have documented some of the different processes on the MTW owners group on Facebook. But yeah, generally speaking, it's easier with either the forged or the newer billet MTW that has the new engine clip and feed tube design. With the older design, it takes a little bit more work to make room for the BB catch arm.
Gabriel asks, is there going to be a Reaper M for standard M4 AEGs?
I don't know. How's that for an answer? We have fully functioning systems that do that. It's just a matter of whether or not we can and whether or not we want to roll them out or release them.
Dion says, I'll be up there for the March event.
For March event, nice, sweet. Should be a good time.
Going back a little bit, Mitch says, need to release that limited, so I have a backup, Rich. Just saying.
You're going to use the limited as your backup? It's a fancy backup gun. I want to see your primary gun. But what events are you guys going to? Because we have not actually set an event schedule so far this year. We have a couple things we know we're doing. Like I said, a couple of us are going to South Africa. Maybe playing. Somebody may be playing Iron Horse, but I don't think we're going to be attending, as a company. So we haven't really set a travel schedule this year yet. So tell us what you think. What events are you looking forward to? What ones should we put on our radar?
A number of people have replied about the Max 4 MTW.
All right.
Which talked about a little bit last week.
Yeah. So, just waiting to get my hands on one and see how it goes.
Of course, at April 30th and May 1st, Big Op House in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Big House in Pennsylvania. Okay, haven't heard of it. Who puts that one on? Is that a local or regional event? I haven't actually heard of that one.
Casper said he didn't get a notification. I think hit that bell icon on the on YouTube or Facebook. I'm not sure. Do all the subscribing stuff.
You guys probably know this now, but most of the platforms now have gone away from sort of organic communication. So the fact that you are following somebody does not mean you will get notifications. You have to actually it's different on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all that, but you have to actually say that you want notifications because otherwise they may or may not.
I will not try to pronounce your name. I apologize, but hi from Poland. Just bought a Bolt M Gen 2 upgrade kit for Striker, but it came without the shaft. Is there any way I can mod the original shaft to work with the upgrade kit?
M Gen 2 upgrade kit. Get in touch with us. I'm not sure off the tip. Why don't you send pictures of what you got and make sure that I answer you correctly. How's that for an answer? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what you got and what's really. But if you submit a ticket through the ticketing system, tech support can help you out. And if they need input from me, I'll help them out.
William asks, AMS Eastern Front 2? Question mark.
Eastern Front 2. Eastern Front. I don't remember where that one is. Where's that one located?
And more people ask about the limited. I think the advice there will be on the day that you can buy them. I would recommend you buy them quickly because I don't think they're going to last long.
That's the impression we get. There's only 250 of them. The impression we get is that they're going to go pretty quick. And they're all pre-sold to dealers, other than the small amount that we're going to sell on our website. And most dealers have somewhere between 1 and 5 that they're getting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so some a few more maybe, but most dealers are going to have like 1 to 5. So get in touch with your local dealer. Get in touch with them ahead of time. If they're in Europe, ones in Europe are going through Red Wolf in Spain. So tell them to get in touch with Red Wolf and make sure that they get some so that you can get one. That's going to be your best bet.
We have a picture teasing the March 3rd live event. Should we?
Oh, yeah, we can throw that up.
You share that?
I forgot about that.
So make sure I get the.
What's that?
Something.
Just a thing.
And something that is not a limited. We've already told you about the limited.
Yeah, this is something very different. That's fun. Who's that good-looking guy in that picture? I don't know what's going on with that.
Also has a very good beard.
Mm-hmm.
So Wolverine represent. Ticketing system worked great this morning. Very quick response from
Good.
Mitch.
It seems like it's working pretty well. Everybody's still learning it, so bear with us. But it does it does seem to be working well, keeping things better organized, facilitating faster and better communication.
So another event, Zulu 24, New Windsor, New York, from Million.
Zulu 24. No, I think that's.
Or is that something else? Is that?
I think that's his thing where.
Oh, what's Eastern Front? That's where Eastern Front is.
Yeah.
Okay. Zulu
Windsor, New Windsor, New York. Isn't that like north central New York? Am I remembering that correctly? I don't know my New York geography really well. I've been on the eastern side, or on the eastern side of New York and the western side of New York. I don't know the middle of New York like at all. I'm not sure what's there. But
So,
I thought that was like north central.
You're probably going to have to share this broader because Juan's asking, sorry for the dumb question, but what does it mean that 100% machine deburred referring to an Instagram post?
So, basically what it means is generally when you're machining parts, they come off the machine and they're going to have some sort of sharp edges, maybe some little burrs of material that you have to go through a hand deburring process. And you have to use like some different tools or buffing wheel or whatever to kind of smooth stuff out and make it look pretty. Keep there from being sharp edges that'll catch your finger and cut you and stuff like that. So spent yesterday working. We're getting ready to. We're actually now running a new batch of the MTW billet receivers, and basically what I did is spend some time going through and creating lots of small tool paths on the machine, so that when it comes off the machine, there's no sharp edges, there's no hand finishing that needs to be done. It's completely machine finished. We'll just wash it and send it off to anodize. There's no sort of post-processing that has to be done. It's nice from a manufacturing standpoint because while it takes more machine time, it takes less man hours to get the parts ready. But then also it will result in a more consistent part because the machine will do exactly the same thing every time. There's no variation depending on who's doing the deburring or whatever in terms of exactly how it gets done. So it's just continuous improvements we're working on.
So Barney Van Horse on YouTube says, "Hey guys, excited to see you in South Africa.
Sweet.
Will you bring some products to sell when you're there?"
Sell, probably not. We are hoping though to set up retailers while we're in South Africa, and we could. I doubt we'll be bringing product to sell. Is the short answer.
Will you be bringing anything interesting?
We will definitely be bringing interesting things. You'll definitely want to stop by. But we are hoping to get accounts set up in South Africa while we're there. So hopefully it'll be a lot easier to find our products in South Africa over the next few months going forward and thereafter.
D Point says, "My Inferno Gen 2 is arriving on Saturday. So excited."
Sweet.
What's it going in?
Yeah.
Campbell says, "I have a new engine clamp and feeding tube. What kind of changes do I have to make for the Max Pro?"
I think it will just go right in. But I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize. I've worked on a few things since I've looked at that. My recollection is that combination you can just install it. Just remove the feed tube that comes with the gun and swap out the hop up. In order to install that barrel and hop up, you're going to have to remove the rail and barrel so that you can install the barrel that way.
Any plans to come to the UK this year?
Maybe. I'd kind of like to hit up it was Airsoft Life. What is it? I can't remember what the UK event in the big sort of airsoft convention in September usually. I don't know what it is this year, but usually it's around September timeframe. September or early October, I can't remember. I've been planning to do that for a few years, and stuff happened, and then COVID happened, and couldn't travel and all. But I'm thinking about trying to hit that one this year.
Some folks are trying to guess what was in that picture.
Oh,
I hope we blurred it enough.
I hope we blurred it enough too. I don't know.
Saw an interesting post the other day. This is from Wolf 0060. Saw an interesting post the other day on Facebook group of an Infernoed MP5 with a custom FCU and sensor to simulate an empty magazine and the HK slap needed. Wish I knew how to do things like that.
That's some fancy modding if you're doing custom electronics like that.
So Corey shared a link for the Big House event.
Cool. Well, we'll take a look at it.
So Airsoft Festival ?
That's the one in the UK. Is that right? Am I right on that? Airsoft Festival. I'm thinking about it. Like I said, I planned to go like 3 years ago, and I don't remember, something came up and it just was not feasible. And then the past couple of years, it hasn't been an option to travel. So, we'll see. But I have not actually been to the UK, so kind of wanted to get over there and meet you all and get to know everybody over there a bit more.
So speaking of the mods, I don't know if y'all have been posting or watching the MTW in the Wild Wednesdays.
Yeah,
I have enjoyed. There's some
really
beautiful stuff. We like seeing those. Keep those coming. It makes us feel good to see how you reinvent.
And we'll pull some of that stuff sometimes and reshare photos. So if you post it up and throw up your an Instagram handle or something with it, and we'll if we want to repost it, we'll we'll tag you.
Is there anything you want to show off?
Well, I think we showed off last week. We showed off the challenge coins that are going to come with the limited edition serialized marking serial number. Number 10 of 250 that's on the gun. The challenge coin will match. And I mentioned we're doing something a little bit special with the internals. So I'm going to show you that today. This is what we're going to be running. It's going to be coming on the limited edition. So this is a one-piece CNC pop-up. We've taken a whole lot of feedback from you guys over the past couple of years, and it seems like the majority of people preferred, for out of the box, a simple one-piece hop-up design, but they wanted something that was more robust. So this is CNC aluminum. We make these in-house, developed these for this. When we relaunch Forged later this year, this is what all Forged will be coming with, in place of the Phoenix Hop. And the Phoenix Hop will just be aftermarket. If you want to get it and and do the customization yourself, you can. But then in addition to that, it's going to be coming with a stainless steel ZCI 6.02 inner barrel. So a little bit fancier inner barrel on the limited edition. Just again, wanted to do something a little more dressed up and special. These hop-ups are coming in this sort of gunmetal gray color, which is pretty. And I'm probably holding it out of focus, aren't I?
I think we can actually get that.
We're going to test out our second camera here.
We're trying to get.
Did you turn it on already?
No, I have not.
Okay.
We're trying to test out for the live event, so forgive us for. There's focus.
It's a real pretty like gunmetal gray color. So yeah,
that
works really nicely. It's definitely more robust than the polymer hop up, Just again, that'll be the first time we're actually doing these. So I'm looking forward to it. Sweet. Set that guy right there.
And hopefully, let us know if that whole camera thing worked.
Yeah.
I'm manning the controls, but the actual brains behind it is not in the room.
We just discussed all this stuff and talked about how you could see it, and then you couldn't see it at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Juan says, "Ooh, steel inner barrel."
Yeah. Nice little finishing touch. Trying to make it a bit special.
Philip says, "Can't wait to get my advanced electronics kit for MTW to upgrade my billets."
Nice.
It worked. It worked.
Sweet.
Success.
Amazing. The product announcement event on March 3rd is going to be sort of us jumping into something we've never done before in terms of the complexity of live event that we're talking about. So trying to test some stuff out ahead of time and make sure that you all actually that it actually works, and we don't do this big live announcement and then it blows up.
So Campbell asked a question that I have kind of a question of, which is, what's your opinion on the Mad Bull blue bucking, or should I keep the MP Mac on 70? And that kind of follow-up question for that for me is, if somebody is looking at trying to improve what they get out of the box, how many different configurations should they kind of expect to try before they have a reasonable chance of getting better than what's out of the box?
I would say that you're probably normally not going to get better than stock performance unless you're willing to try somewhere between I don't know, 3 and 10 combinations of other parts. It could be anywhere in there. That's just sort of normal expectation. Mad Bull Blue, I've had personally, I've had sort of mixed results with. Sometimes it seems like it works really well. Sometimes it seems a bit finicky. But yeah, it's definitely it definitely. I have seen it shoot extremely well sometimes. It's not a bad option. I don't remember what barrels I've had success with it on and what ones I haven't. So wish I could give you more detail, but yeah, all the difficulty with hop-ups, and we go over this all the time, but the difficulty with hop-ups is that all the parts interact. The barrel interacts with the rubber interacts with the housing interacts with the barrel, and so and then you get variations within a certain design that I don't know that 5 rubbers from the same manufacturer are not all going to perform exactly the same. So it's kind of there's just so many variables. It's hard. You can't really be guaranteed that if you change out this combination of parts, it's going to perform amazing.
So, got a number of questions about the CNC hop. You want to answer questions about the CNC hop? Is it going to be available soon?
I don't think it's going to be available before I think the first time it'll be available is when the limited edition launches. I think that's the first time it's going to be available, and then after that, at some point in the not too distant future, it'll be available aftermarket.
If you want it, you have to be first in line on the limited.
Yeah.
So Darren says, "Rich, constantly improving things. Thumbs up."
Yeah. Yeah. My employees don't always agree with you.
It also says, "Hop up is voodoo."
It is absolutely voodoo. Anybody, in my experience, if anybody tells you that they can build a hop-up and barrel combination with 100% success rate, they're full of it. you have some combinations that work, a high percentage of the time, some combinations that work, 50% of the time, some combinations that sometimes shoot terrible and sometimes shoot amazing. I've literally had I'm trying to think of a good example. But yeah, I've had combinations of parts where I've tested 10 different sets, 10 different combinations of the same manufacturer's parts. And one combination of barrel, rubber, and hop will shoot amazing. And then another one shoots like total garbage. And it's all in between. So you get lots of different. It's one of the challenges with building production guns. You're trying to find a combination that is not necessarily the best possible of all combinations, but one that you can consistently produce really high quality shooting results with. And that's.
Hence, you have to get lucky with combinations if you want to get better then.
Yes.
A couple questions on what is the difference between the new CNC hop and the Phoenix, and will it have any engravings?
Engravings, I don't think so at this point, but that's slightly TBD. We do the engravings in-house, so we'll see. The difference is that the Phoenix hop, the feature of the Phoenix hop is the ability to adjust the bucking lip tension. If you don't, I'm gonna say that if you don't know what that means, or you don't know how to do it, then you don't worry about it. Don't just get the standard one because it's simpler. It's one of the things that it's another variable to adjust, which is a double-edged sword. It means that you can. It often allows really good performance if you do it right. There's also a variable that you can mess stuff up very easily if you do it wrong. So I think in hindsight's always kind of 20/20. I think kind of in hindsight, it probably we were trying to make the Forge series really nice. It's we'll do the Phoenix hop with it. I think for an out of the box gun, it probably would have been better to stick with a one piece hop up and leave the Phoenix for aftermarket for people that want to tune the gun themselves and do the legwork of doing that. It's just it's sort of to use a metaphor, it's one more knob that people can twist and get adjusted the wrong way. That's just kind of which you don't necessarily want with an out of the box gun. You want out of the box for it just to work. And so that's sort of why we're switching to doing the one-piece hop-up design for out of the box. And then if you want to start custom tuning yourself and doing all the adjustment with Phoenix, great, go for it. But then it's you're sort of taking that on yourself, not just having to do that when you don't know what you're getting into because you just bought a gun and didn't know what the hop-up did.
So Mitch Young says something, I'm not sure I follow 100%, but says, PSA, the new sleeving on the Forged airline is great, but doesn't slide past the pistol grip. Seen a lot of people dremeling the internals on the grip mount to make room. Don't do this. Unscrew the quick disconnect nozzle from the line, and the line will slip past. And maybe I think that must be the FGL, not the...
It might be an FGL, but he's talking about on the Forged new sleeving. Unscrew the quick from the line. I'm confused about that comment because that's the Forge doesn't come with a an FGL that can be screwed off, so I'm not really sure about that. Sorry, I'm not following that train of thought.
Okay, Zabo Zolt. You're the one who has.
It's more ad. I think he said it's more ad. Zabo Jolt Zabo.
Zolt Zabo.
Something like that. I'm sorry.
I know.
Sorry, he told me
Southern Americans.
I know last time he told me I got Jolt right, but I didn't pronounce the S sound correctly, and I can't remember whether I made it too hard or too soft last time. So anyway,
he says, bit off topic, but I have to say I'm impressed with the out of the box performance. We picked up a forged and a billet, both shot very well. Good job, assembly team. Our assembly team works really hard to make sure that every single gun gets QC'd, indoor shooting range, to make sure it's ready to go out of the box.
Every gun goes through QC, gets shot in the shooting tunnel, gets chronographed, checked that it's within acceptable tolerances, and then if there's any question about the shooting performance, it gets taken to the outside shooting range and shot at longer distance. So they do a lot of work to try to make sure the guns perform well out of the box.
So Dion says, I showed in my video adjusting the Phoenix hop and how effective how it affects the bucking. I'll need to show the effects in another video of having it not set up properly. And he knows the feeling of from Slab on how setting it incorrectly doesn't work. And then, okay, I need to catch up. Sorry. Have an FGL on my OG billet with the mag pole. Just drilled the hole right and it slides right through.
It's the FGL is really close. Sometimes it'll go easily. Sometimes it's more of a pain to get through. But it depends. The forged comes with it's not the FGL. It's like an integrated filtered line, right? So it doesn't have a multi-part fitting with a replaceable filter. It just has a filter built into the same type of line that we use on all of our other guns. And we've never had fitment issues with those being tight going through. They're very very similar to all the others. Speaking of which, we will eventually be switching all of our products to an integrated filtered line. So everything will come with a filtered line out of the box. Haven't gotten there yet. We're still working on it, but they'll all have that IFL or integrated filtered line that is just sort of a simpler design. What we found that when I originally designed it, I thought, well, people are going to want to service these filters and replace them from time to time. I think over the lifetime of FGLs, we've sold like maybe 50 or 100 replacement filters, maybe. Like, people just don't, you don't have to. You can sort of blow it out and there's not really a great need for replacing it, I guess. That was maybe overkill. So we just simplified the design and are going to include it with everything.
And what time and when is the launch event?
March 3rd, 1:30 Eastern Time. Probably streaming at least on Facebook and YouTube. And we're going to try to, we haven't figured out the details yet, but we're going to try to include a Q&A section where you can submit your questions sort of during the announcement, and somebody will compile them, and we'll answer as many of them as we reasonably can during the Q&A period.
So there was a question on the MTW's group, I believe, which I love reading the MTW's group. Thank you all for helping new owners out. But they're asking about the code on the part / serial numbers for the guns.
Okay. It would be good if I actually had one. Because I can't remember. Let's see. MTW is just the designator. N is Inferno, right? And it's MTW-N or R for either, or M, which is either Reaper M, Standard Reaper, or Inferno. Mm-hmm. S is the stock. Yeah, the stock. So the stock it's not a rate stock; it's a standard stock. And then you have the counter afterwards is just the counter for that particular series of guns. And then we had some suffixes when we were doing custom gun builder. that referred to other things that were smaller changes, having an FGL or not having an FGL, water resistant electronics or not, all that kind of stuff. But that's basically the breakdown of the part number.
Let's see. So we've got a few more questions we'll catch up on. Did the billet ever come with the Phoenix?
Not standard. Did we ever offer that as on the custom gun builder as an option? I can't remember. I don't think we did. I don't think we ever shipped billet guns with the Phoenix hop. Pretty sure the hop up stayed with the gun. So if it's a billet gun with Phoenix hop, somebody else installed that.
Wolf says, I've heard barrel window sizing can really make a difference. Make or break difference in bucking combinations. Any suggestions on what actual size barrel window to look for when buying new barrels?
I don't know how to answer that question for you. I'm sorry. I tend to like a little bit larger window personally, partly because I generally have pretty good success with maple leaf rubbers, and maple leaf rubbers definitely want a larger window. Doesn't have to be huge, but it needs to be big enough that the whole nub can fit through. Otherwise, it deforms the mound. The whole mound can fit through. Otherwise, it deforms the mound, and everything just goes to pot. That said, like PDI barrels generally shoot really well, and they, in my experience, have pretty small windows. So, kind of, again, different combinations.
I think we're mostly caught up on comments. Anything else you want to share, or we've got?
I think
somebody gave us an outro that.
No.
So if you stuck around this long, you're going to be rewarded by
another couple minutes, and you'll get to laugh at me. Anyway, thanks for hopping on, guys. We will do it again next week. And yeah.
And just last.
Oh yeah,
quick
teaser one last time. Coming soon.
It's more than just more information about the limited edition.
Yes, definitely. It's fun times. We will see you guys next time.